it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my journey through Star Trek, the original series. And today I am watching Wolf in the Fold. And as always, with most of these reactions, there'll be a full uncut reaction to it. If you're new to the channel, I have a Patreon page. I also have channel membership. There's different tiers of different perks. If you'd like to support the channel further, look into one of those. I'll have links to both of them in the description under this video. That would be fantastic. Really would be helpful, beneficial. Just a little bit of support to help the channel. A lot of work goes into it, so any little support you can do that way would be fantastic. But with that, we will watch Wolf in the Fold. Okay. That's an opening. Scotty glued to it. The other.
I think I'm gonna like Argelius.
Obviously a man of good taste.
You mean?
You like her, Scotty?
Aye. Why shouldn't I?
Good.
She's not bad looking, but she does have a great body.
Now, no one has to tell an old Aberdeen pub crawler how to applaud, Captain.
So he's from Aberdeen, okay. I never knew they specified where in Scotland he was from.
It's a fine foggy night tonight, and I doubt if anyone has ever told you of the marvelous fogs we have in Aberdeen.
Scotty, relax and enjoy yourself.
Would you really, if you were walking, heard a scream go? You just kind of look, wouldn't you? Like, what the hell is that? Let me guess, it's her.
She's dead, Jim. Stabbed 12 times.
I'm guessing he's framed. I'm saying that guy who gave that look is behind it.
The chief city administrator, Mr. Hengist, has taken charge of the investigation but has learned little of value.
Argelius is the last planet in the galaxy. I'd expect a thing like this to happen.
We're just as shocked as you are, Mr. Hengist.
Not very efficient, you know.
Have I seen him or something before? Was he in The Killing?
Scott.
Scotty, you left the cafe with the girl. Do you remember that? What happened next?
Walking in. The fog. I heard the girl scream. I remember starting to turn.
If he says he can't remember, he probably doesn't. You know, Scotty.
I know that a murder has been committed. Bones, I have a diplomatic responsibility. This happened under Argelian jurisdiction.
But he's suffering from a severe concussion.
Can you prove that? You said that she hit him in self-defense trying to defend herself.
It's not promising, Captain. Mr. Scott insists he remembers nothing.
But you could say if Scotty doesn't remember, that doesn't say that he didn't do it. You know?
My wife, Sibo.
And this man is Scott, the one I sent you the message about?
My wife is a descendant of the ancient priestesses of our land. She has the ancestral gift. We shall learn the truth.
She looks quite evil.
I can beam down a technician with a psycho tricorder.
It will give us a detailed account of everything that's happened to Mr. Scott in the last 24 hours.
I have already heard talk of closing Argelius to space vehicles.
I don't blame them. I mean, everything's pointing to him doing it. They don't know who Scotty is. They can't say, like, oh, he's not a person who would do something like this.
You will just follow me, Lieutenant.
The knife? No.
But I put it here when we arrived. It's...
Or Tracy's gonna be dead?
She's dead, Jim. Just like the other one.
Stabbed. Over.
What excuse could you give him this time? There was no one else there. They weren't in the street. If you were a crook, you'd be fucking wanting to strangle him, though. Because no one else could have done it, and, like, you'd want to kill him.
Captain?
Lieutenant Tracy is dead, Scott. You were found alone in the room.
And now I'm sitting here.
Is that all that happened?
Remember, I must have passed out.
It could be, Jim. That head injury.
Captain, I've been trying. I
can't even believe this is really happening.
Is there another entrance to that chamber?
Yes, there's a door that leads into the garden, but that's been locked for years.
I'll tell you this, she hasn't said a word, but she gave a look after we heard that scream.
Another murder, Hengist. One of my crew.
The same as Kara.
Why, you. My men picked you up near here. What were you doing?
Please, I know nothing about it. I didn't kill anyone.
God, he's handy.
You were a musician at the cafe. You played for the murdered girl.
Girl, she danced for me. She was my daughter.
Oh.
Who are you?
Morla of Cantaba Street, Prefect. I was there. I have nothing to hide.
Oh, Kara.
Of course he knew her.
I wouldn't appreciate
They were
these
to be married.
questions,
But he behaved
the way that Kirk's phrasing them.
I loved her. And when she went over to the table with these men, I just could not stand to watch, so I left. I went home.
See, has often been a motive for murder.
Yes, I know. That is why the emotion is so strongly disapproved of here.
The Argelian empathic contact is an interesting phenomenon, but the technique is not sound enough to risk a man's life. Simply that we beam Mr. Scott on board the Enterprise and deploy our computers to learn the truth.
It is absolutely imperative that this matter be resolved according to Argelian laws.
I think Scotty would have referred Spock's
There's
suggestion.
nothing we can do about it. Kirk out.
Listen, it's only Scotty anyway. It's not a big deal. I mean, if it was you or Bones, then obviously we would do it, but
Upon the flame which
Kind of a
burns
wacky
upon
episode.
the altar of truth.
this could be another Halloween-like episode, like the
Yes.
one, what was the one, Cat's Paw?
Oh, there is evil here, consuming hunger, hatred of all that lives, hatred of women that will never die. Richard! Richard!
Holy crap, and I thought she was the one responsible. Okay, now they can't. Is it one of the other ones? Are you sure you can prove that you weren't standing over there a second ago?
3 murders. And Scotty, the only possible answer each time.
Scotty simply could not have done
Oh,
it.
come
Normally not.
on, Bones.
That blow on his head
Oh,
could...
no, Captain.
Scotty, I'm sorry,
Perfectly satisfied Mr. Scott is guilty.
but not responsible.
That is unproven, sir.
We can prove it, if he's insane.
Mr. Scott. Sir, I swear to you I did not kill your wife or the other ladies.
Yes.
No, he's
On
right.
the
though.
Enterprise, we can make a recording of the registrations of Mr. Scott's conscious and subconscious mind, and they will tell us what happened to him in the recent past.
There would be no room for doubt. We would know.
I think he'd be a little more upset than he is. His wife was just murdered.
You may have killed without knowing it. The ancient penalty for murder was death by slow torture. That law has never been changed.
Truth will be immediately detected and relayed to this computer, which will in turn notify us. Subject's present physical condition.
Working. Subject recently received severe blow on skull, some peripheral abnormalities.
Why would he make him
Sufficient
kill him?
abnormalities to account for periods of functional amnesia.
Negative.
Captain, I don't see how that can be.
Unless Scotty's lying about his loss of memory.
I'm not lying, Captain. I don't remember a thing about... I didn't black out when Mr. Jarrett's wife was killed.
Well, then what happened?
We were holding hands. When the lights went out, the circle was broken. Near the head of the table anyway, I went toward her, but there was something in my way. Some thing.
Like a phenomenon?
Cold it was like a...
All right. Let's hit it on the head. Did you kill Sibo?
No, Captain. That I'm sure of.
Did you kill Tara?
I don't remember.
Did you kill Lieutenant Tracy?
I don't remember.
Accurate account. No physiological changes.
All that proves is that he's telling the truth when he says he doesn't remember.
Here, we'll run a psychotricorder analysis of Mr. Scott's memory, which is what we wanted to do on the surface. Was a sensitive, that she did sense something evil.
Light.
She said something else, words that didn't make any sense.
Yes.
Rajic, there is no such word in the linguistics bank.
Affirmative. A proper name.
Define.
Red check. Source. Earth synonym, Jack the Ripper.
Ah. What? Of course, there was women he killed as well.
Jack the Ripper.
My wife said it is a hunger.
But everything we've uncovered points to Jack the Ripper, which is an impossibility.
Someone trying to
Or is it?
go in his footsteps.
Humans and humanoids make up only a small percentage of the life forms we know of.
If it's impossible for it to be human, it has to be something else, something driven to kill.
It also feeds on fear.
Which would tend to support the proposition that the murderer was not human.
Computer, could the described entity assume physical form?
President.
So maybe one of them isn't human.
Cloud creature of Alpha Majoris 1.
We all know the murderer is sitting right here with us. I mean, you're trying to cloud the issue.
Solid enough. Please be seated, Mr. Hengist.
I think Mr. Hengist is the culprit because he's constantly trying to stop.
Heliopolis Alpha Eridani 2.
He looks
10
nervous though,
women
the
knifed to death.
husband guy. It's like a juggernaut.
When man moved out into the galaxy, that thing must have moved with him. Would you mind taking this stand, Mr. Hengist?
Oh, I will not.
Mr. Hengist.
What better position from which to kill with impunity?
Just after you left Jarvis's house, discovered the murder knife was missing.
And you were unaccounted for when Lieutenant Tracy was murdered.
Engaging in sheer speculation.
Perhaps.
Point of origin.
Artifact produced by Hill people of Argus River region. Planet Rigel 4.
Careful, he might kill one of you. Is he dead? Can't be dead.
He's dead, Jim.
But that's impossible.
The computer will not respond to these controls. The entity is unquestionably controlling it.
Maybe it's out of that body of that guy now, and it's in its truer form, maybe?
What's happening, Captain?
What does it mean?
We know it feeds on fear and terror.
So
There
don't
are
show
nearly
it.
440 humans aboard this ship. Sure.
Remain calm.
And don't think of things that scare you, such as heights, spiders, drowning,
What's the
death.
sedative situation? Good. Start distribution immediately. The longer we can hold back that fear, the more time we'll have to get that thing out of the computer.
Why is his badge down at the bottom?
Free fall.
I was about to say, how do you know this is even going to work? Take the Jeffries tube.
Captain Kirk, Captain, you're wasting your time.
Cut that thing off.
You and all aboard your ship.
But it will not last long. A few hours at best.
That should be enough time. Let's get at it.
You cannot silence me. You cannot reach me. Your manual overrides are extremely limited in.
I say it's a generating irritation in a lot of them.
Whoever he is, he sure talks gloomy.
And your post, sir.
You order it to stop.
Yes, that should keep that thing busy.
Given it's an entity, she could have the power to override these instructions. Like, laughter is all they can do to scare them.
Has fled.
Yes, but where to?
We'll go back into him.
You'll suffer, you.
Isn't he probably gone out of that now? No, he's not. I thought he was trying to go into Kirk or Spock.
Deep space. Full power. Widest angle of dispersion. Maintain.
Excited, Captain?
Looks like Donald Trump, the guy who's transporting. It's Donald Trump. The hair is similar.
You send it back to the planet?
No, we beamed it out into open space, Scotty. Widest possible dispersion. Bones, how long will it take for this tranquilizer to wear off?
Oh, I don't know. 5 or 6 hours. I gave him a pretty big shot, Jim.
I know a cafe where the women are so...
I know the place, Jim.
Mr. Spock, this cafe has women that are so... alone?
You're rarely a fan of those comedic endings. Only in that time did it work. But an unorthodox episode. Okay, that was Wolf in the Fold, and I really liked the murder mystery aspect of it, and also the fact that I think in the end I got it, but in the who was actually the one behind the murders, although really was an entity controlling a certain body. But I was kind of questioning, oh, could it be that person, could it be this person? And I liked as well that a lot of the time Scotty's reasoning for why he didn't do it wasn't enough. Like, he couldn't justify it enough, and like the people who were calling out saying he just keeps saying he can't remember, that doesn't mean he didn't do it. I liked that they kept calling that out because it's it's how you would think. You know, obviously me watching, I knew he didn't do it, but for those people, like, they don't know Scotty at all. So like, you know, he could have done it, and like he literally had in the third murder, he had the knife in his hand. So, you know, I liked that they were calling it out, and you kind of agreed with them in that. Well, of course they would think that. But the idea as well that in the end it was an entity and that it's been around for centuries, and obviously that like it took the shape of Jack the Ripper. That was kind of interesting to kind of throw that in there. But it reminded me a lot of Pennywise. If anyone who's read it or seen the movie or the miniseries, like that element of feeding on your fear or terror, you know, feeding on that. I wonder if Stephen King get his idea from this episode, because I thought it was very similar. I did think that though that the ending, again, like you have all these murders, people that were killed, you've come across this like ancient entity, and then you're cracking jokes like less than a minute later. You know, I just think sometimes the endings, the little humor, it isn't always needed. You know, and I think more often than not, those humorous endings they go for don't land, and they've been in even some episodes that I've really enjoyed, but very often they just do not land. I think they're kind of a lot of places. It's like a forced little pin on the end of the episode, and I wish they would write some better endings, you know, for those. But overall, I thought it was a fun episode. I did enjoy it. But guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on Wolf in the Fold, and where would this rank among your favorite Star Trek episodes. But until next time, Slog Fall.